This review is presented by EVDANCE and The Perfect Glass.
And it just want to lift.
Here we are with the 2025 BMW S1000R. And reviewing bikes is very, very fun. I love riding bikes of all kinds. Before I was never into sports bikes that much, but this is a bike that convinces me even more of treading into the spectrum of very fast superbikes. This is a semi-naked sports bike. It's compact, it's rather light. The power is up a bit from the previous one by 5 horsepower. It's got electronics from the M1000R, that more hardcore performance bike that is more set to compete with the latest bike that I was driving, the Ducati Street Fighter V4S. 214 horsepower on 189 kilos. Crazy crisp, crazy fast, crazy agile, just crazy in its whole being. This is a little downtoned. It boils down some of that hysteria of the naked bike segment where everyone just wants something to go quicker, be lighter, be harder, more technical, and just making the whole ride a total chaos, because it becomes a bit of a chaos when you get all the wind, when you're so exposed, and when you just ride a light package. But that's also the essence of driving a naked sports bike. That's the pure feeling. And I mean comparison, if you drive something that is more road racing, where you can lean down and you can get a bit better aerodynamics and stuff. On this one, you just have to take all the punch from the wind and all the elements. But that is also something that really makes your blood pump a little extra. But this one, once again, it has a nature of just making you settle down a little. I don't know what it is. It's got some touring feel about it because it's very soft in its suspension. It's got an adaptive chassis, so you can set it into 2 different modes. You can set it into road and you can set it into dynamic. And still, in dynamic, it isn't that hard. It is still very composed and soft, and it really soaks up everything that the road has to give. And we can just start off with the collar. It's 6,000 Swedish crowns extra, so about 500 euros for this collar. You can get it in the M collars as well, then you get the M package, or it just comes at no extra cost in black. But this one, wow, it's almost like the Swedish collars a bit. It's a bit green tinted, but it's called Mugello Blue Fire, and it draws attention because it is a very good looking bike into its every little shape. Maybe these new headlights, those splitted headlights, mimics a bit many other bikes, and I don't like that. I would like to have just one integrated, one single light that would look a bit more cool. Otherwise, proportions are just great. Okay, let's go. Very convenient to have that, and it just boots up so quickly. Very quick computer, nice graphics, and the Akropovich, that's optional. It sounds so meaty when you have it in a Dynamic Pro. Listen to this. Beautiful. We'll adjust the suspension into dynamic. There's so good mid-range torque in it that you can play along very well. A 4-cylinder engine needs some revs to live out, but I think that this has got good punch from the bottom. The brakes, they do their job. You can hold 2 fingers on it and you got pretty good feel. Maybe not as rapid as some of its competitors, but I just think it does its job. It's really powerful. You just need to put the power into it and then it's there, but very smooth. Sometimes those very immediate brakes on some bikes can be a bit too hectic
then you need to be, you know, a bit more careful. I like it when you need to push and get that gradual power of the brakes. And this one, it gives you that. The quick action throttle is just great as well. I love that. It's so immediate, and you only need to twist it 58 degrees compared to 72 from before. So yeah, you get more instant power a lot quicker. And in the first, second and third, so easy to get that wheelie. But all the systems that it's got, you know, wheelie control that you can set in different steps to not make a fool of yourself. You can turn it completely off if you're really a pro at doing wheelies. And then also the lean angle traction control, lean angle ABS, they intervene if you get in a bit too ambitious with speed in some corners. Some parts of the road a little better, and I think that you can put it into road because it becomes a little more subtle. Feels like it gets a bit better traction there. And that Akropovich exhaust just sounds great on the Overrun and Dynamic Pro. Love it. This is very manageable, this bike. There is drama when you get above 8,000 RPM and you know, keep on throttling it. Well, you get sent into a world of speed, of course. 170 horsepower, 5 horsepower up from the previous one. It might not make that much of a difference if you've ridden the old one.
Power is up by 5 horsepower from the previous one, so you get 170 horsepower. That is a lot of horsepower, of course, from this 4-cylinder engine. It needs a bit of rev, but I still think that it's got a very good torque band in the middle. When you're above 3,000 RPM, then you can just go. But of course, you need to rev this one out to make it really alive. And it really wants to rev all the way up to 12,000 RPM. But when I got this one, it had only done about 200 kilometers. So I needed to do a service because it was locked to 8,000 RPM, still strong, but you really want the whole power package of this one to make a proper review. Peak torque comes in at about 9,500. But when you push on in this one, first, second, third, and almost fourth gear, it wants to lift. But the best thing is that it has dripped down so many technical bits from the M1000R, and that means you got wheelie control, you got traction control, lean traction control, lean ABS, you got engine braking management. It just keeps you in check. And it also provides all these demanding drivers something that they can really tweak, because you can tweak it in so many ways, this one, to become very personal for your driving ability and style. And it's not that flamboyant in the way that it has wings and different stuff to make it a bit more aerodynamical. This is very clean, very elegant. The brakes, 4 pistons, they do their job. Maybe they're not as strong as on that Ducati that I drove. That one was just putting your finger on it and the brakes were instantly on guard. But this one has a very good gradual feel to the brakes, and they are powerful. And you become so fast on these bikes nowadays because this one has got even shorter gearing. It's got the quickshifter, which means that you do not need to pull the clutch. You just push up or down to get the gear that you want, and it does it instantly. So you just become so spoiled. And even when driving a bit more casual in town, out on the country roads, I use this one because it's so convenient all over the whole rev band. It just works so well now. When I drove the BMW K1600 GTL, it didn't want to play along as good, so they've really improved it on these bikes. And so far, even though I've tried many others, Triumphs and Ducatis, difficult. You need to set them side to side to really compare. But this one, it's in that very top league. with this quick shifter. And not just the quick shifter, now on this one you also got something that is called quick action throttle, which means the throttle is a lot quicker and you do not need to rotate it or turn it as much. 52 degrees now compared to the older one, which needed 72 degrees. So you do not need to change your grip to get the full acceleration that you require.
And you also got the engine braking system on it, so it pulls you down when you gear down. And this slick quick shifter is, I think it's amazing. You stick in the gears a lot quicker now. So it just sums up to become a very, very great bike. Sure, at the higher revs, the handlebar is rather shaky and it vibrates a lot. But man, it follows really, really well, this one. I like it. It's not as hectic as the Triumph Speed Triple. Well, it's not as bombastic, as fast, and as focused as the Ducati V4S Street Fighter, but that is more compared to the M1000R, so I need to drive that one first to make my conclusion on which one of these are the best. So easy to put the weight from one side to the other, and these M-forged lighter M wheels, so light. You can feel that it just takes you to places as quickly as anything when you want to change direction. Magnificent bike, this one. I like it. I like it a lot because when I just sit straight up, it just becomes very relaxed. All naked bikes and all street fighters, well, you get all the wind onto your body, so you really need to put yourself down in a more aerodynamical position. But when you do, well, then it's rather nice. I like how you can put yourself into those different sporty positions on it. So it's very ergonomically shaped in that way. The seating is a bit too hard. I can feel it in my bum. It gets on a bit, but if you have, you know, better padding in your pants, then that would do it. But when you drive active, you reset yourself all the time, so you air your bum a little there. You know, cruising like this, and you can just shift about. Slick, smooth, and uninterrupted. Gearbox is just excellent. Love it. And when you really need to go fast, well, it plays along better than any. Really good one. And when you're at higher revs, look at this. No worries. Down to first. Crazy. And it just want to lift. But the wheelie control, well, keeps you in check.
EVDANCE is your #1 go-to online store for EV chargers. 20% discount when using the code EVD car. Check out the links in the video description.
The 25 S1000 model uses this cast aluminum chassis from the RR. And you got these semi-active Masochi forks, which just feels very, very fine. A bit more smooth, maybe not that hard, but I think that it really absorbs all the type of undulations and complexities in the road in a very, very good way. You also got a little lighter exhaust system on this one. This is the Akropovich, and it sounds just perfect. A lot more meaty, a little more barky, but you need to get into the Dynamic Pro. So when on the let off, well, then it just pops, but in a very, very growly and loud way. So that is a must. About 13,000 Swedish crowns extra, so about 1,200 euros for that one. And you also got M-forged wheels, so they're a lot lighter, and you can feel that they just want to play along whenever you put it into one bend and then into the other. It is just so rapid, but in a non-dramatic way. I just like how this one feels. The weight is 199 kilos with 90% fuel in it, and then it's 196 kilos with the M package. So it's a rather light bike. And those two indicator lights, well, that's where the normal brake lights and running daylights are integrated as well. Looks very, very neat. And it looks extremely beautiful from the back as well. Now, I just like this bike. I like how it looks. You also got some engine covers down here. And in traditional BMW manner, there is a lot of accessories that you can put on to customize it. But the packs that you get, well, they're all here. You got the dynamic pack, you got the comfort pack, and you got the M package. Comfort package is 13,850 Swedish crowns extra. Something that you might want. And in that one, you got heated steering grips. You got the keyless go, if you want to call it that. You got cruise control and tire pressure monitoring system. And in the dynamic package, you got the DDC, the dynamic damping control, which you then set in road or in dynamic. You also got the different drive modes. Then you got wet, which cuts the power down to 100 horsepower and what makes it not that rapid in the throttle. Also the torque is a bit lowered, so you become a bit more safe when you drive in the wet. Then you got road, then you got dynamic, and then you got dynamic pro. And together with this one, dynamic pro is really good. Gear Assistant Pro, this quick shifter, and then also a engine spoiler.
Just goes on me like every bike does, but this in a more touring, sporty, racy way. You can go to the track, you can set quick lap times, and then you can take it for a little spin, active drive, or just go on some touring, because I feel that it feels very comfortable. It's just the seat, and when you cruise along and you're above 4,000 or 5,000 RPM, that it shivers a bit in this handlebar and in the mirrors. Nothing that I care that much about, but it can get on a bit. But I don't think that it's supposed to be a bike that you should cruise on for long. It should thrill you, it should tickle you, as the handlebar does when the revs are at the higher ones. So good balance when you brake hard. And then you got some of the extras, of course, even though that's not the most important necessity, but of course you got the cruise control, you got heated steering grips, and you got your board computer with everything that you can set, which is class leading almost. The graphics are good, it works very quick, there's no lagginess whatsoever, and it gives you great information. And also in this world where you just want more power, you know, bikers, they become even more hungry for power. And you know, on the naked bikes, there is not that much that differentiates them from the super bikes, because all the tech, all the performance, all the engines, all the brakes, the setups, the suspensions, the tires, you know, whatnot gets lifted onto these bikes, because you should get this more pure natural feel. That it becomes just chaos when you drive a naked bike in a very, very aggressive way, because you need to clinch up that much to not let the wind rip you off. You need to have some great neck muscles to be traveling 200 kilometers plus on the straights when you push it on these bikes.
Very nimble, very nice, and it's also very comfortable. So let's step on and see how it feels. So the bike starts at 177,600 Swedish crowns. So what is that? About 17,000 euros. But with all the packs on this one, it's nudging 240,000 Swedish crowns. So about 23,500 euros. And that is a lot of money. They become very expensive. And this handlebar is extremely comfortable. You can sit upright. Very nice. You can just stretch out and you sit a position that is comfortable when just cruising along. You can also alter this at 10 millimeters. a bit more towards you, but I just think that it's perfect in its position. How you want to lean forward when you want to drive a bit more aggressive. This seat is a bit hard. I found it to be a bit, it got on a bit after a while. So you just push that button and the screen welcomes you with nice graphics. It is a little frosted, so it doesn't reflect that much when there is a strong sun, and it just boots up super quickly. Nice graphics, and you got so much here. So if you're familiar to a Motorrad product, well, then you're at home. This scrolling wheel here, which you can push from side to side to run through the menus. The button which you push up or down to get into the menus, settings, telephone, media, it's prepared for that. You got a sport cluster that you can choose. So you got the percentage of your dynamic traction control, your brake, also the lean angle, and this great rev counter here. And if you step to the right in this menu, then you can also see your lap timer. And what more here? You can just turn off the traction control very easily. You got the button for the suspension. You choose that and you get into dynamic or you get into road. You got the mode button for the different drive modes here. You got road, dynamic pro, and you can also set rain if you want to do that. You can go in and customize them in the settings. So if you want to change, let's say for example your wheelie control, you can do that in 3 steps. The traction control, you can set that in different steps. The ABS, the engine braking management, and a lot more. So you can really personalize this ride to your liking. So a very good system that provides you with a lot of information. And what I also like is having a key that is not just keyless, but when you open the filler cap, well, it's manual. I like that. You can put on a little seat here. Now you can just open this one and there is a little toolbox back there. With the M-Pack, you get a bit wider tires, so it's 200 millimeters. Standard without the M-Pack is 190. And these tires, they just heat up very well, gives you real good control because you want them to be sticky in the corners.
And what I really appreciate with this BMW is that it takes away some of that extreme drama, but you can still pick it out if you wanted to. And it just masks it so nicely in a very elegant package. Still, it looks beautiful, extremely aggressive. Maybe the headlights are a bit mainstream when they're split like that. But apart from that, in this color with the Mugello rear frame and this blue, love it. Even better than the M colors. And that's where I want to give BMW a plus. You know, stepping back a little, just keeping the touch of looking really good, having great quality feel in everything, but not making it too bombastic or too raw. I mean, raw, what is raw? It can be raw in different ways. And of course, bikers, they just want more and more precision, but it depends on the level of rider that you are. And for me, I think this just fits the bill. I like how comfortable it is. I like how quick it is. Just a sweet spot there for a superbike. 170 horsepower. Rev it a bit to get the most out of it. And just a nice setup. I think the damping works extremely well. Soaks up the road very nice. You can drive in road. You don't need that dynamic. If you want some extra sporty feel, well, when on the track, maybe then. Otherwise, not that important. Revving it all the way up to 12,000 RPM to get all the power out of it. You don't need to do that. Of course, it's fun to have the capability of doing it, but you don't need to, because it doesn't feel like you need to gear down that much. But man, these gear shifts are quick and so smooth, no interruption, no hesitation whatsoever. It just makes you feel so free, and you want to be free on a sports bike. You want to be one with the speed, with the corners, with how you position your weight, and what type of confidence you get. You get good grip, great balance. Now this is a very good package. I like it a lot.